breakfast before a ride. What I like to do is I'll take oatmeal, right, for those complex carbs. I'll add banana in there for, a faster digesting carb, and some eggs. Now I'm gonna go out and ride. I'm gonna ride today, right? I'm gonna hit the group ride. So it's probably gonna be on the throttle, right? So I gotta have protein, right? Protein is the repair, it's the recovery. I'm hitting the gym, you gotta have the protein in there. So I got 4 eggs, so 2 whole eggs, 2 egg whites. Now the oatmeal, the complex carb of it, right, is it takes a couple hours for the protein to get digested fully into the system. So it's kind of like a sustained energy, right? The banana is going to digest much faster, so it's going to give me energy quicker, but it's also going to fall off. So you try to banana's going to fall off with the energy, then hopefully the oatmeal will carry the energy on. But of course, got on the bike nutrition and stuff like that, but man, you cannot do a ride fasted if you want to perform, right? I get it. Oh, I can do it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, right? If you're looking for maximum performance or maximum gains in whatever you do, right? Whether it's going to be on the bike, in the gym, you got to feel the work, right? You got to have the protein, the carbs, the fat. You got to have the nutrients in there. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of beat yourself against this wall. And a lot of people just don't see results from all the work they're putting in. So I'll go out with these people, and year after year, ride after ride, they're just kind of stuck, right, in the same spot. Not getting faster, not really changing, and it's not like they're not pushing it. The nutrition, I've always felt like if you can really get your nutrition dialed in, you can kind of half-ass the work. Now I'm not saying to half-ass the work at all. You got to put in the work if you want to see what you can do. But with proper nutrition, you can do so much more than I'm gonna push my body, right? I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna get shit done. I'm gonna David Goggins it, who's gonna carry the boats? Respect, but there comes a time where if you really want to start seeing results, the fruits of your labor, if you will, you gotta feel it, man. Especially in the endurance world. I get it, like years and years and years and years ago, right? It was taboo, kind of, to talk about food, especially endurance, because you got to be as light as you can and push through. And it's kind of like only the strong will survive, which is true. But with the science and all the information coming out, especially the past 5 years, past 3 years, the performance is what you put in the gas tank, right? Like a car can only go so far with a little gas. Put a lot of gas in it, you can go really far. Same thing with nutrition. You've got to have that in there, right? And your metabolism, right? We all talk, we want to be lean, especially in the endurance world, right? When we weightlift, we want to be jacked. In the endurance world, we want to be lean so we can be fast. Food is like bastardized or something like that, right? We don't want to, it's in the fad diets. Oh my God. I mean, just it's the restriction and restrict and restrict and restrict and don't do this and don't do that. It's like, hell, man, what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to do anything else. So what are you actually supposed to do? It just gets so confusing, right? Now, with the nutrition side of it, yeah, I'm eating out of the pan. Cuts down on dishes. But on the nutrition side of it, your metabolism, right? That's what's going to get us lean. It's tied to two things. Muscle. And if you're an endurance athlete, you don't want to get too heavy. That's the mindset, right? Me, I like to have muscle. A, if you hit the deck, it's a little bit easier to get up off the ground. B, who the hell are you off the bike or outside of endurance? Are you a dad? Are you a mom? Are you a homeowner? Like, do you want to play with your kids? Do you want to play with your dog? Do you want to do yard work? Do you want to be a fully functioning human being? I want to look like a man, not an Ethiopian child. Just saying, right? But the leaner, the smaller we are, that's like this. Look, gotta change that, man. I'm telling you, because as we get older, like myself, A, we're not racing professionally. B, a hell of a lot more life outside of your endurance sport. But also back to the metabolism thing, kind of squirreled on that one. Back to metabolism, so it's tied to two things. Muscle, trying to stay as lean as we can, so I don't know how much muscle we got, right? You got muscle, but you know what I mean. You're not all jacked. Then it's tied to food. Okay, that's the two things your metabolism's tied to. So think about this. You go and you have Thanksgiving dinner, especially here in the States, Christmas dinner, whatever. You have a big, big meal with the family, friends, whatever. And you eat all this food. Do you notice how you get hotter, right? It's like, man, is there more people in the room? Did you turn up the heater? It's called TEF, thermal effect of food, right? The more food you eat, the harder it is, which is a good thing, for your body to process food, okay? So your thermogenics, your metabolism has to heat up in order to digest the food. I'm not saying go eat like an asshole, but what I am saying is we're in such a calorie restricted mindset, especially with endurance sports, that we try to restrict and restrict and restrict, so we don't eat a lot. So our metabolism is actually, we have a set point of super low. What it ultimately leads to is poor performance, not seeing any real progress, and honestly, you're probably binge eating at some point. I know you are, don't lie, right? Oh no, I don't do that. Well, do you have 5, 6, 7, 8 beers? Same shit, you know? Or you're just sitting there and you can just smash an entire bag of nuts. It's like 3,000 calories. Sneak up on you. But I guarantee you, you're way overcomplicating it. You're not eating enough when you need to eat, and you're probably overeating when you're not supposed to be overeating. It's this vicious cycle because for some reason, endurance athletes, for the 6 hours, the 8 hours, you know, and at the professional level, you know, 15, 18, 20, 30 hours a week. That's a different, I'm talking you and me, right? Recreational dudes. We'll do some races. We perform pretty well, right? We're not getting a check for it, but you know, we're so hyper focused on this one thing. It's almost like it's the only thing in our life that defines us, right? So we gotta make sure we look and we feel and we do all this, but yet we're not doing the proper things and fueling the body to get the right performance out of it. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Well, maybe it does make sense because in endurance sports, you know, for years it's always been as light as you can, and which I get it. The lighter you are, faster it is for you to go uphill. But I go right back to, you do this for fun. You're not getting a check for it. You know, how are you functioning at work, your day-to-day life, you know? Talk about being a well-rounded athlete. Feeling the work. We gotta, you know, I need your help. We gotta break this mold of less is more with food. We gotta get your protein in, right? You gotta get the recovery. You gotta get the repair going on. Protein is so important. Protein helps fight off diseases. I mean, it's so important. You got to get your carbs in, right? The human body is a glucose machine. I don't care what diet, what nutrition plan you're on this week, or what influencer told you to do, whatever. Your body's a glucose machine. Your liver, your muscles, and your brain function off of glucose, period. It does not function off of fat. It does not function off of protein. Is your body functions off of glucose, carbohydrates. You got to get that in there. And you got to have fat in your diet. You don't have to have a shit ton of fat, but you got to have fat. It helps regulate hormones, testosterone production. I mean, you can just go through this thing. But if you get out of your way and start thinking about overall health, right? I'm in my 40s. And you got to look at the whole picture, right? You see me in the gym. We'll ride the bike, you know. I ride the bike every morning, pretty much 5 days a week. Then 2 days a week, I'm usually outside doing a 3, 4, 5 plus hour ride. You gotta feel the work. But I also want to minimize the impact it's having on my gains in the gym, because I want to have the muscle, right? I want to ride my bike. I want to take care of the family. I want to be able to do stuff around the house. I want to play with my daughter, get up off the ground, fully functioning. I want to look jacked from the gym, right? There's a lot of things we want to do. There's a lot of things that define us. But in endurance sports, what I noticed is we let this one thing, there's one thing define us. And when you look on the outside of what this thing is that you're allowing to define you, do you even know who you are, right? But we're also so afraid. We're also so afraid to step into something different because this one thing has defined us for so long. So my question, or my ask, or maybe statement, let's just say statement, right? My statement is, that's great that you do the endurance sports. It is. It's been a part of my life for over 15 years, right? But look at the whole picture of who you are, who you want to become, how your life is structured. Because when you start putting all that together, really try to focus on overall health, your performance on the bike not only will go up, but you'll just feel better in general with day-to-day life. All right, we wrapped up the breakfast. Got to get ready. It's cold as crap out there. So, got to get on the bike. I'll talk to you later.